What a joy it is for me to welcome each one of you here today to the 4th presentation of the Tom Lantos Human Rights Prize. February 1st, which is only a few days away, would have been my father's 85th birthday, and I know that there would be no way he would rather celebrate than to have the opportunity to honor today a true hero of our age, Chen Guangcheng. When my father was first elected to Congress in 1980, his very first legislative act was to muster the votes to have Raoul Wallenberg, another hero like Chen Guangcheng, who in the face of enormous evil and power was willing to stand up and do, not only say, but do what was right. It is so fitting that today we have this great opportunity to remember and acknowledge and celebrate someone who in our own time has done the same thing. The selfless, fearless enterprise on behalf of others manifest by Raoul Wallenberg has truly been magnified by our honoree today. And we are so grateful to have every one of you here with us. Truly, even though we do have a rather large family, we feel you are all part of this family of the Lantos progeny who are dedicated to seeking in their lives to help further the great blessings of liberty, happiness, the opportunity to pursue happiness and to share our gifts of freedom with the world. And we are so grateful for your efforts to join with us in that effort. This morning, I felt strongly that I wanted to include a word from the scriptures in the thoughts I shared with you as I welcomed you today, but I wasn't sure whether it was appropriate. So I decided I was going to do a little test, and I said, I'm going to open the Old Testament of the Bible, and if something that is absolutely right appears before me, I will share it. And I'm being very frank in sharing this with you. I want to read to you what I opened to. It was the 7th verse of the 1st chapter of the book of Joshua in the Old Testament. It says, "Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do all according to the law." And I'm going to take a little moment here because the amazing thing is how Chen Guangcheng has used the law of the People's Republic of China to protect the people from mistreatment of the government. "Be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do all according to the law. Turn not from it to the right hand, or to the left," I thought that was appropriate for our Congress, "that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest." And in welcome, I say this to all of us, let us be strong in not only saying, but doing what is right. And I want to add my prayer to this blessing, Chen Guangcheng, that you shall prosper wherever you go with your beautiful family and in your incredible mission to the world. And we are very grateful today to be able to present.
Well, thank you very much, Annette, and thank you for your inspirational words. And I am thrilled to be here with my colleagues in government, Congressman Chris Smith, who indeed is a leader on the issue of human rights in so many areas, and Senator Kelly Ayotte of New Hampshire, who is also a great leader on human rights. And I am grateful to be part of this remarkable event. I am grateful to have the opportunity to congratulate Chen Guangcheng once again for his courage and for his indestructible commitment to the rule of law and human rights. And I should also add, I want to congratulate his wife, Wei Jing, as well, for her courage and her commitment to human rights. It is an honor to find myself in the company of so many individuals actively working to further the cause of human rights and dignity for all. And I'm grateful to the Lantos Foundation for Human Rights and Justice, Katrina Lantos Sweat in particular, who has been just this unbelievable force. I want to thank her, and I want to thank Annette Lantos as well, who is kind of the matriarch of the human rights movement here in in Washington. She worked alongside of her husband for many, many years, getting the Human Rights Caucus up and running, and now it has turned into a commission. And I'm thrilled to be here also with Richard Gere, who I have known for 30 years, we figured out, who has been a champion on human rights issues in every part of the world. And we need more citizens like him. If we did, the world would be a better place. Mr. Chen's road to today's award has been long and tumultuous, but the sacrifices he has made along the way have not been in vain. The impact of his work to advocate for the rights of women and the poor has been felt not only by those individuals and families he has represented, but also by Chinese society and those of us around the world. Each of us is here today because we have been encouraged and inspired by his struggle for human rights and his belief in the rule of law. Importantly, Mr. Chen's example also compels us, those of us in the United States Congress, those of us in the United States, to figure out ways that we can uphold a higher standard of human rights here at home and around the world. Mr. Chen's commitment to using his knowledge of the law to help others has given a voice to families, protected their rights, and defended their dignity. Mr. Chen's daring defiance of the totalitarian regime has allowed Chinese citizens to become increasingly aware of their legal rights and more assertive in their defense of those rights. The reach of Mr. Chen's efforts is felt across the globe, from a woman in rural China whose reproductive rights and dignity he defended, to members of the United States Congress who, inspired by Mr. Chen's dedication, continue to work to advance human rights in China and elsewhere in the world. And in his extraordinary efforts, Mr. Chen joins countless individuals around the world who struggle courageously, often at great risk to their own lives, to protect the basic human rights and fundamental freedoms of others. They are the ones who take the aspirational words of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which speak of the inherent dignity and inalienable rights of all members of the human family, and makes them a reality for some of the world's poorest, most marginalized, and most vulnerable communities. For their brave efforts to hold governments accountable for violations of the universal rights espoused in that document, these individuals are true heroes of the march toward a more free, democratic, just, and peaceful world. This is especially true of Mr. Chen, and it is for this reason that we honor him today with an award that bears the name of another remarkable champion of human rights. The award's namesake, Congressman Tom Lantos, who's a friend of mine, knew what it meant to risk his safety to speak out for the rights of others. Congressman Lantos was a survivor of the Holocaust and a member of the anti-Nazi resistance. After finding refuge in the United States and making a new life for himself, he dedicated his 28 years of serving in the United States Congress to raising awareness and respect for human rights around the world. When we take time to honor the heroic efforts of individuals like Mr. Chen, we also pay homage to the great legacy of Tom Lantos. I am proud to say that this award could not have been placed in more deserving hands, and I will close by saying that I think all of us, no matter which country we come from, we ought to be able to say with certainty that we stand out loud and foursquare for human rights. There is nothing more important, and the man we are honoring today certainly is deserving of this recognition, and I am thrilled to be here, and I am inspired by his example. Thank you very much.
Wonderful words, Annette, and to the Lantos clan. I have to tell you how much we all deeply miss the incisive wit, the strong, booming voice of Congressman Tom Lantos. I served as his ranking member. He served as mine on the Human Rights Committee, and I want you to know how deeply missed and how cherished he truly is. And to have such a group of people, and we miss you, and you miss your little dog. Where is? It is a delight to be here, and just let me say a couple of very brief words. Brave Chen Guangcheng and his equally courageous wife, Yuan Weijing, have paid and continue to pay an extraordinarily high price for their benign defiance of a dictatorship that violates human rights with impunity and crushes human dignity. Not only have the Chens endured numbing isolation and unspeakable torture over the course of several years, but now, as we all know, in a pathetic display of PRC governmental revenge, Chen's nephew, Chen Guangcheng, languishes in a Chinese prison while other members remain at risk. Undeterred, Mr. Chen continues to gently raise his clear and consistent voice on behalf of victims while pursuing systemic reform of egregiously flawed political institutions and the people who persecute and repress. Blind since childhood, Mr. Chen bore all of the burdens and all of the disadvantages that a disabled person faces in rural China. Confronted with denial of his own rights, he developed an intense interest in law and challenged the local government, winning his own case. Hearing of Mr. Chen's success, other individuals in Shandong province were inspired to seek his legal assistance in securing redress and vindication. Almost everywhere, corrupt officials made and continue to make in China life miserable for those struggling to survive. Mr. Chen informed many of their rights and helped many of them seek durable remedies. He helped many of them to see that the rule of just and compassionate law wasn't just for the privileged few, but it was for everyone. Victimized yet unbroken by horrific beatings and torture, 51 months of nightmarish incarceration, preceded by house arrest and followed by 18 months more, cut short only by his escape. Chen Guangcheng tenaciously defended Chinese women and babies oppressed by China's draconian population control policy, the one child per couple. Mr. Chen's brilliant mind, his indomitable spirit, and unimaginable courage exposed pervasive forced abortion, deemed a crime against humanity at the Nuremberg Nazi War Crimes Tribunal, and was relentless in using his self-taught legal skills to protect the innocent. Unfazed by both the difficulty and the task and the inherent risks, Mr. Chen employed legal strategies to combat this insidious cruelty towards women and children, and argued that his clients in Lingyi, and all women in China for that matter, have rights that prohibit such brutal violence, and that all women deserve better. Chen became and remains their hero, and ours as well. Mr. Chen's daring escape to the U.S. Embassy, his miraculous evasion of China's ubiquitous secret police en route, is the stuff of legend and of superheroes. It took a blind man to really see the injustice of population control that makes most brothers and sisters illegal in China, and to hear the desperate cries of women. It took a blind man, the great Chen Guangcheng, to open the eyes of a blind world to these human rights violations systematically inflicted on Chinese women. No one anywhere in the world is more deserving of the 2012 Lantos Human Rights Prize. No one, I say again, no one. Thank you.